What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to U2. Yes, indeed. U2 fans feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Steve Smith, and this is actually one of Steve's 3 prioritized requests for the month of January for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Steve. Hope you enjoy the show. Steve wanted to see me react to this, and I need everybody to pay attention really close to what I'm going to say here. Steve wanted to see me react to this. It is a live performance of the U2 song Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me. Now, have I heard this song before? Once again, I need y'all to listen to me very closely here. Have I heard this song before? Yes. Yes, I have. I've heard this song multiple more times than I could possibly count. One of my very first jobs outside of being a professional musician, because let's be honest, professional musicianship doesn't always cover all the bills, you know what I'm saying? So one of my first early gigs was working at a movie theater. And that summer I was working, and this is when Batman Forever came out. So every single time the movie was 5 minutes away from ending, we had to go and clean up the theater real quick for the next showing. So we always would stand in the back, you know, and we would, you know, about 5 minutes before the movie ended and before credits rolled, we would sit back there and we would watch the last 5 minutes of the movie, just waiting for the movie to end, waiting for credits to roll, and waiting for everybody to get out. So people would start leaving. The theater would be pretty much empty by the time about 30 seconds had gone by. Meanwhile, we're sitting back there listening to this song. Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me. This is the song that they played at the beginning of the credits. Yeah, I heard this song so many times every day. It wore on me. It absolutely did. It wore on all of us. But so that hopefully answers everybody's question as to whether I heard the song or not. Oh yes, yes I have. Now, luckily, and I told Steve this, and I told him I've heard this before, and he said, "Oh, that's okay. This is a live performance." Thank goodness. So yes, it's a live performance. Therefore, full disclosure, full transparency. I'm not trying to hide anything from anybody. I promise. Okay, I will not be reacting to, thank God, the song itself in any way, shape, or form. I'm over this song. I really am. And the thing is, it's a good song. It really is. It's one of the most entertaining songs I think I've ever heard from U2. It was just a shame it was on such a bad movie. This is where the Batman franchise started to go downhill. You know, there was the Batman with Keaton, Batman Returns with Keaton and Pfeiffer and Danny DeVito, and that was a good movie too. Batman Forever, this is where they started to really introduce all the bright colors and the color palettes and the color schemes and everything else. And it was such a departure, especially when they brought Val Kilmer in. I'm sorry, Val Kilmer was a great Bruce Wayne. He was a fantastic Bruce Wayne. He was a horrible Batman. I'm sorry, but that has always been my opinion of that movie. So I'm going to be basing my evaluation and my score not on the song, thankfully. It's going to be based on the live performance, the visuals, okay? So it's going to be all about what we see, not what we hear. Please, please, please keep that in mind. Okay, this was posted by YouTube, all right? And the video has 6.5 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Hold me, thrill me, kiss me, kill me. Live from the Foro Sol Autodromo, Mexico City, ME --. Sure, why not? All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Trying to be the bat signal, I guess. But not quite. Wow. Okay. Let's go down the checklist so far. Okay, so let's see where we stand right now. Stage presence, check. Yeah, they look like performers. They're acting like performers, so they definitely got the stage presence. Special shout out to the Edge. Oh my God. that outfit is so white that the lights are literally reflecting off of it and making his suit seem brighter than it actually is. Oh my goodness. Whoo, that was not gonna lie, folks, when he came out on when the camera finally got to him and was getting him from the back, that glare was it was incredible. Oh man. I saw the light. I've seen the light. Oh, man alive. So stage presence definitely checked off. Stage energy, check. Bono is moving around a lot on that stage. All the way out to the right wing, which is great. I'm glad to see that. And he's jumping around, dancing around. So it's generating that energy. I like it. I had no problem with it. Stage interaction. Unfortunately, no, I haven't seen any. Not yet. We still got another 2.5 minutes to go, so maybe we'll see some. I really hope we do. Crowd interaction, check. It's subtle, but it's being done consistently. It's being done quite a bit. Bono is engaging with the crowd, almost like, I don't want to say in a taunting way, but he's definitely engaging with them. Like he's like not trying to get a cheer out of the crowd. It's almost like he's trying to get a rise out of the crowd, like a villain. And I see that, and he's working it. He's absolutely working it. Showmanship. Yeah, again, check. Again, thanks to Bono. Between the moving around, the dancing around, the crowd interaction, there's definitely showmanship elements there without question. Production. That's getting a check. Whoever came up with the design for the for the back screen for the Titantron back there, they did a fine job. I like the bat signal motif. I know it wasn't really the bat signal, but it was. I think the character's name is Mr. Mephisto. I think that's what it is. Is Bono's alter ego. Yeah. I think that's what it's emulating. It was very fitting in that bat signal-esque type of style. I thought that was really clever. And then when they showed the animated bats in the background, that just added to it. It's like everybody knows where this song is from, right? Everybody knows. It may have been on an album. I have no idea which album it was on, but everybody knows that song was used in Batman Forever. Especially if they went and saw the movie, they couldn't help it because right when the credits rolled, that song kicked off. So, yeah, many listens to on when it comes to that. So far, so good. I'm hoping. Really hoping we get to see some stage interaction at some point, because that's the only box we don't have checked yet. So let's get back into this. We still got 2.5 minutes. Hopefully we'll see some. Ooh, I like this breakdown. Nice. Good build back up. Nice. Quick. Careful with that camera. It's very expensive. Not bad. Not bad. I need to think about it. There's one element that I'm questioning. I really want to give it the check mark. I really do, but if I do, it's going to be a very obvious reach. It's going to be a very obvious stretch. And I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to be accused of anything. So I'm trying to figure out if I can justify it or not. So let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was U2 with a live performance. That's going to be key here, folks. And remember I said this. A live performance of Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me. This was a request from Steve Smith. And this was actually one of Steve's 3 prioritized requests for the month of January for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, Steve. Hope you enjoyed the show. Okay, before I give my score, I just need to reiterate this. I have heard this song before. I have heard this song many, many times. I have heard this song more times than I could possibly care to count. There was a point in my life where I would listen to this song pretty much in its entirety on an average of 5 times a day, 5 days a week. Yeah, 25 times a week I would hear this song when I was, spending a little time working at a movie theater to make a little extra scratch. Yeah, I was, yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I heard this song at least 5 times a day, and it wears on you, folks. When you listen to a song 5 times a day, 5 days a week, whether you want to hear the song or not, it wears on you. I'm not gonna lie, the first maybe the first week of hearing the song, the first 25 times I heard it, I really dug it. I really liked it. And then, through week 2, the sparkle and the shine definitely came off on it. And I was like, okay, I'm over it. When is this leaving theaters? This song didn't leave, this movie didn't leave theaters, at least the theater I worked at. It didn't leave for a month. So that is 4 weeks, a total of 100 times at least that I heard this song. Let me tell you, folks, but by the time we got to the 4th week, I was absolutely ready to just put a bullet through the projector and say, you're done. You're done. Give me the film, and I'm going to take it out back to the trash. I'm going to put it in a dumpster. I'm going to light the entire dumpster on fire. Not just the film. No. I'm going to light the entire dumpster on fire in the hopes that after the film has burned and turned to ash, the metal of the garbage bin will actually melt and encase itself around those ashes, hopefully making it absolutely impossible in any way, shape, or form to reconstruct this, because I was so over that song at this point. That and Kiss from a Rose from Seal. Those were the 2 songs. They were the 2 songs that played while the credits rolled Oh, I am so over both of those songs. Now, having said that, this was a live performance, so I am basing my entire score on the visuals, the live performance, not the song in any way, shape, or form. Having said that, I am going to put a little asterisk in there. I like that breakdown section they did on the third verse, I believe it was, where they brought it down, everybody laid out. It was just very sparse bass and guitar. I think it was mostly guitar. I think kick drum might have been there too, but they really brought it down into that halftime type of feel. And before they kicked back into the chorus again, you heard the drummer, and then, brought it back in again. I thought that was different. It definitely added some new light to a song that to me was dead. Anyway, so this is going to be completely basing everything on the live performance. And it's a good thing too. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that live performance a 7.3. Yep, 7.3. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first. A 7.3. What does that mean? Well, a 7.3 would translate to a really good skill rating because overall, I think this was a really good live performance. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and a B as in boy, B letter grade. Yeah, a solid B. So there you go. A 7.3, really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B as in boy, B letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. It's very simple, folks. Let's go down the checklist, and after doing that and explaining everything on the checklist, I think everybody will understand how I got to that 7.3, and the 7.3 will probably make perfect sense, okay? Stage presence, check. Yeah, they definitely had stage presence. They look like performers. They act like performers. They got the stage presence down. Stage energy. Yeah, thanks to Bono. Bono was putting in the work on this. Edge, Larry, Adam, they just were kind of, well, okay. Not so much Larry. Larry was seated behind his drums. But Adam Edge pretty much just kind of stood there the whole time and played their instruments, which is, fine, especially for Edge, considering the song. There's a lot of wah work in this song, a lot of wah pedal work, so I don't blame him for not moving around. He did what he had to do. But Bono was absolutely there to put in the heavy lifting, and he did. So more power to him. A lot of movement, a lot of motion, moving all over the stage. So I got no issue with that whatsoever. Stage interaction. We're going to get back to that. We're going to get back to that, I promise. It's a major point of contention. That's why I'm saving it for the end. Crowd interaction. Yes, I am going to give it a check. It's a weak check. It was done very casually and very subtly. He was kind of engaging the crowd almost in an antagonizing way. Like he was trying to get them vamped up and ramped up and heated. Trying to get some, as they say in the wrestling business, trying to get some cheap heat. But it works. It works, especially if I'm reading the room right. If I'm reading everything correctly, I think he wasn't fully vested into his Mr. Mephisto character, but he was definitely emulating elements of it, almost as if he were trying to be Mr. Mephisto while hiding it, like wearing a disguise to hide that character. But he was definitely doing a lot of the facial expressions and the movements and the motions that we've seen from the Mephisto character in the past. And almost like he was daring the crowd to do something. Now, he never pointed directly at the crowd, but he was, kind of, gyrating his hips and moving his legs and leering into the crowd a little bit like, yeah, what are you going to do about it? What you going to do about it? It was, like I said, borderline antagonizing. And here's the thing. it worked. It absolutely worked because the crowd responded. They absolutely did. Now, obviously, the crowd responded with cheers. They weren't, yelling obscenities or, making threats toward the guy or anything like that. But they definitely, listen, he got a response. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad, There's no such thing as good press or bad press, as long as it spell your name right. Very much the same thing here. In this style, and with what he was doing, he got a response. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Okay, he got a response. That's the important thing. So he did it. He got it. It was done in a very casual way, but it still was crowd interaction. So it gets a check. It's a little bit on the weaker side, but it's not a full-blown weak check. It's just on the weaker side. Showmanship, yeah, check, absolutely. Bono delivered a great show. And then production, yeah, all the screen work. Whoever designed the graphics for the Titantron, they did a fine job. They did a great job. I loved at the end showing all the pop icons, all the music icons, actors and actresses, musicians, comedians, showing. It was almost like not a slideshow. It was almost like a slot machine almost. They would spin down. There's the next one, and it was random. One would move, then four would move, then three would move, then five would move, then one would move again, two would move, three would move, five would move, two would move again, four would move, three would move, one would move. I mean, it was constantly just changing randomly, and yet somehow they all ended up on Marilyn Monroe at the end. I thought that was very clever, very well done. The intro using the image of Mr. Mephisto instead of the bat, for the bat signal, lighting up the sky, and and then you had the animated bats in the background. By that point, it was pretty obvious where they were gonna go. We all knew what song they were gonna play next. So I thought whoever did the production work did a great job. Great job. That absolutely gets a check. So let's go back to the one check that we haven't discussed. And I said we were going to get to it. So let's get to it. Stage interaction. I'm just going to pre-frame everybody and say, I know this is a stretch. I know it is. It is a huge, huge step on a gigantic leap of faith. But hear me out. There was absolutely no stage interaction between members of the band. Bono didn't interact with anybody, Edge didn't interact with anybody, Adam didn't interact with anybody, and Larry didn't interact with anybody. They were all kind of off doing their own thing. However, there was this moment where Bono went over to stage left and he interacted with the cameraman. Now, here's the thing. That really should lean more toward crowd interaction because he's interacting with the camera and the live feed is of what that camera sees is being shown up on the screen. That really leans more toward crowd interaction than it does stage interaction. Until Bono put his hands on the camera. Now it's no longer just interacting with the crowd. Now he is literally, physically interacting with the cameraman. Now, is the cameraman a member of the band? No, he's not. He's a member of the crew. But that crew member was on the stage. Like I said, this is a stretch, okay? And I understand it's a stretch. But it is, by definition, it is stage interaction. It's interaction that happened between two individuals on the stage. That is literally the definition of stage interaction. It doesn't state that it has to be with members of the band. It does not say that. It just has to interact. It just has to happen and have physical interaction between two individuals on the stage during the performance of the song. And that is exactly what, by definition, that was. Understand, folks, it is a stretch. I understand, and I agree with you. I absolutely do. That is a serious reach. Like, if I was Mr. Fantastic, that would be the extent of my extending limbs. You know, that I would be reaching with my arm as far as I possibly can across the city until I could not possibly stretch any further. That is how far of a stretch this is. But I'm going to stand by it though. So, yes, stage interaction gets a check. It's a weak check. Understand. It is weak. Paper thin, but it's still getting a check. So they did check off all the boxes. Congratulations. But there were some weak ones, let's be honest here, okay? So that's how we ended up at a 7.3. I do not feel comfortable going any higher than that. I just don't. So 7.3, I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 7.3, which is a really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B as in boy, B letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.